Hello. I was very reluctant to do a live video, even reluctant to record this video right now, but something keeps telling me to do so anyway. And as I'm recording this on the new moon in Capricorn, just before Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas Eve, I had to really work through my own emotions, through the turbulent waters that we've all been swimming through for many years now, at least the past 3 years. One of the things that keeps coming up to me as a realization and as a channeled message is, and even from my own knowing, astrologically even, history repeats itself. As we go through cycles, we do have repeating energies or opportunities to change, shift. So history does not need to repeat itself. We as humans on this planet have the ability to actually make the change and shift within our consciousness, within our thoughts, within our emotions. We've been under a lot of pressure for many thousands of years, under the control and the mind control and fear-based control systems that have tried to keep us all in a neat little box, following each other. But we can change that. So I'm going to go into some of the transits, and some of these things that I say may not be exactly what you want to hear, but there's always no. We have a choice. We can change. So the past few years, we've been working through our own fears, our own doubts, dealing with overwhelming doubt even of ourselves, of life in general. We've been healing a lot of ancestral trauma, childhood trauma, changing our perspective, awakening to new perceptions, new concepts, new realizations about ourselves. When we're dealing with overwhelming doubt, the main thing as human beings we tend to do is we fall back into something that is familiarity, that as a sense of security and safety when doubt takes over. Because we humans, all mammals, all living creatures on this planet do need to feel safe and secure here. We are in the process of facing our own doubts, our own personal doubts, our own fears. We're on the path to healing. We have been for quite some time. We're beginning to find the divinity within ourselves, within others, and within life. Some of us, not all. But if you're listening to me, you're on the path of healing. And there's a reason why we've had to do all of this work, all of the purging, all of the self-awareness, self-understanding. It's coming up to this point that we are coming into now, and where I can't not speak about this any longer. And I don't like to put out any more fear. This is not to be feared. But allow yourself room to be surprised by yourself. Be surprised by life. So we're right now with the new moon in Capricorn. We're switching from being in a lot of mutable energy, which is always changing, and we become flexible and adaptable to whatever is changing. We're now moving into cardinal energy. And cardinal energy is that fire. That is that will. It is the initiatory force. It is the energy of the leaders. And it is really leaning into life. And it's pushing us for new experiences. I'm sure that many of you are having them now. A lot of them are still linked to your past wounding, your past traumas, but not all. And we're starting to feel really deeply that we want to make the needed changes in our lives with integrity, our dignity. This is an initiatory. We're initiated into this energy, Aries energy. So we start to plan about how we're moving forward internally a lot of times in the beginning. But this time with meaning and purpose. Because one of the things that I wanted to point out, I think I wrote it, I have notes here, so I am sorry for peeking down at my notes. I want to keep this in a nice flow. We're going to give ourselves a chance to birth something new, which does require that feminine love and nurturing that is needed. Feminine love and nurturing is needed for something to grow into fruition. What we leave behind here on this planet when we are no longer here, and what we're known for, is our legacy. Are we in alignment with our true legacy? Let that sink in for a moment. Going into some of the transits. Currently, today, as I'm reading this, on December 23rd, we have the sun and the moon both in a square to Jupiter through this new moon. Jupiter is now in Aries in the beginning degrees. This energy may feel like a bit too much is going on right now. Things are moving way too fast, too soon. While we are still really working internally to heal and mend, as well as we're working to mend bridges with others, we really can't force too much, but it feels like a lot is being forced on us. Yet, we will need to be strategic in how we are going to deal with this ever-changing world that I'm about to talk about. So I just want to prepare people for what's to come. We also have Mercury. Mercury slowing down, getting ready for its retrograde in a few days. And Mercury is our perception generator, filter of how we perceive things. Have you hidden yourself from the truth? These are questions to ask yourself over and over again, because the ego, the way the ego protects is by hiding from the truth. So keep asking yourself, am I hiding myself from the truth? Answers will come to you. Chiron is also direct right now. Had been in retrograde for many years, since 2018. Chiron is a big part of this energy as well. So we may be finding ourselves picking at the scabs of our wounds, our childhood wounds. Chiron is the wounded healer, deals with our childhood traumas, our childhood wounds that have been coming up for the last couple of years very intensely. And I talk about them all the time because there's a main reason. That's what keeps us from being our true selves. So we're feeling like we aren't getting our needs met. As the chapter of the next 3 years is really beginning to close, we're kind of picking at those the scabs that are trying to heal. The chapter of the last 3 years is beginning to close in this cycle. The next chapter is still unknown. We're in the cycle where major things happen. Major things happen. And this is what I want to talk about. Jupiter in Aries, one of the biggest, and with this moon in a square and sun in a square to Jupiter right now. Jupiter just moved into Aries a few days ago. This is when I'm going to bring up a few things in history as history repeats itself. It does not have to, but this is the cycles. This is the energy. So Jupiter in Aries, 1917, the United States joined in with Britain and other countries into World War I. The same transits, which also include other planets, but with Jupiter in Aries, in 1959, we joined in, and that was the start of World War II. We are finding ourselves right now on the precipice of World War III. It does not need to be. I want to also point out that there's positives. We have diffused this energy in other cycles. But this new moon is highlighting this Pluto return for the United States of America, which makes it a little different. It makes it a little more challenging for all of us. But we're starting to really see the challenges of our basic survival needs here. Food shortages, food prices, energy. It's becoming more and more difficult to feel safe and secure. So the energy is also bringing up this war energy with Mars in retrograde, exactly where it was in 1943 to 1944, as well as Jupiter in Aries, and Uranus at 15 degrees Taurus is exactly where we began World War II on the world stage. However, on the positive side, in 1986 to 1987, in between, we had the harmonic convergence. For anybody who was alive here on this planet at the time, worldwide, it was a worldwide meditation, the worldwide Om, which really sparked big change. It was a big evolutionary shift. And we as humans consciously took charge to do that, to shift so that we did not fall into other detrimental patterns that we have in the past. Because we are a collective. We all share this planet together. Don't let the people fool you that pretend that they are higher up or in better knowledge than we are. I'm trying not to get on my soapbox here. Going to go back to us. Chiron in Aries is now direct. The Revolutionary War and the beginning of what started the Declaration of the Independence here in the United States, this moon energy is the start of another challenge for us in this country specifically, but in the world stage as well. Pay attention to things, be aware and alert, and be strategic in planning ahead so that we build bridges with important people in our lives that we both value and learn from. Our resources. We can be each other's resources. We are each other's resources. We've just been so separated. Saturn and the Capricorn lessons, as well as Aquarius, are really unfolding right now. What we have learned in the last 5 years, that's up to us to discover. All of the pieces are coming together in this domino effect right now. This is a whole new story in our lives right now. Not just a whole new chapter, a whole new story is about to unfold. All of the karma, all of the dharma is unfolding. We're looking at the truth, the facts, and then looking at the other side and maintaining our strategy while also taking calculated risks that will make life better. Realize that we all must come together for this new story and work together in harmony for a better world. Venus is showing us this right now. There's going to be many are still escaping and numbing as Jupiter just recently left Pisces. So give it a little bit of time, but we don't want to give it too much time. I want to find what I wrote about Chiron as well, because we are stepping out of a lot of big Pisces, Neptunian, loopy, foggy energy right now. And this is the chapter that we really must start to step forward in life, playing our cards right as best as we can. I'm going to bring back some history again, just to show you history can repeat itself, but we don't have to allow it. So we're in this breakdown, breakthrough energy. It's very intense. Uranus energy. Uranus transiting with the North Node in Taurus is that earthquake energy. We just had a big earthquake in California the other day. So check back, think back. Where were you at in 2011? What similarities are there now? We learned a lot, yet it's time to take this wisdom forward with us. The ways we've been, what's worked for us in the past will not work going forward. There has to be a new strategy. We must step into the game of life with our wisdom, with our talents, and our abilities without fear. The old thinking that everything is going to go back to normal is an easy way, in an easy way, is extremely foolish of us all. So following a major earthquake, a huge tsunami disabled 3 nuclear reactors, causing semi-meltdowns. It was a test. Fukushima, that nuclear disaster, March 11th, 2011, same energy we're in right now. This breakdown, breakthrough energy with Uranus. So again, we're stepping out of that loopy, foggy, Neptunian, Piscean energy right now. Starting to wake up to the truth of what we're living with and what is going on the planet. There will also be many who will spiral down and get totally lost in this energy, not paying attention at all to anything that's going on, especially within America, in the next 30-month cycle that we're going through. So be very aware of this. Be prepared of what's coming next. Prepare to be bold, overcoming our sensitivities, which is really hard for a lot of us. This is how we really need to get to know and understand ourselves, while still holding compassion, care, and understanding for those, and non-judgment for those who are going to spiral down. The doors are opening now if we are willing to walk through them and overcome our Chiron sensitivities and weak spots. Why do you hold yourself back? Chiron, childhood wounds. Worried about what other people think. This is a really important time in our lives, and it's really important that I get serious about talking about this for all of us. Not to spread fear, awareness. We all must work together going forward. Disconnect just enough from those pushing for war that you can see the truth in the matrix now. Those on the higher up, they're talking about this, and there are people that are going on board with this right now. Disconnect from that, but not to the degree where you cannot see the truth. Just don't emotionally attach to it right now. We are all brothers and sisters in this experience, and we really can't go against each other as they are trying to push us through into doing so. However, there are those at the top convincing us that they have all of the power, that they know best. We can't be afraid to speak up loudly. Speak truth, even if it's inconvenient, even if it's the holidays. Speak truth. Truth will set us free. Things will never be the same. Things just won't after these transits. So as long as we stay in the Chiron's fight or flight energy, our nervous system is just never really comfortable in this energy. It's not healthy. We just live in this triggered, jittery, unbalanced, ungrounded state. We can't make the best decisions for ourselves in this state, and it's extremely difficult to embody and integrate our life lessons and our wisdom when we're still in that fight or flight energy. Now, Chiron just started to move direct again. So we have some supportive energies in moving through this. So don't attach to, this is how I am, I'm always nervous and jittery. It will shift and change. Pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to the bravery coming up from you. We're all stepping into deeper responsibilities for ourselves. We are maturing as humanity. Another thing I want to bring up through the holiday season is expectations. Expectations right now will lead to disappointments in this energy. So it really is best to go with the flow and make the best of whatever situations that you're in right now. We are still in a healing path, a healing process, and there are no shortcuts in healing. We can't skip steps. We fall back and repeat, fall back and repeat. The more you can be aware of this, aware of yourself, know your energy, and what life, the universe is trying to shake out of you and show you, the better. It's important to invest in ourselves, to be the best versions of ourselves that we know deep down that we are. Knowing yourself is key in this life, all the way. We are all unique. We are all different, but we are all the same at the same time. We don't need to fit ourselves into a box or a label, and actually that will be to our detriment. I'm prompted to read to you from Inside Degrees this new moon energy at 1 degree of Capricorn, because it is very life-changing in many, many ways for us. And you will know where your life is changing right now from your life experiences that you're going through at this time. Again, remember, in the end, what we leave behind, what we're known for in this life while we're gone, is our legacy. Ask yourself, am I in alignment with my legacy, with my message, what I want to be, what I want to leave behind? We all know deep in our gut, in our heart. Last thing I want to mention is that we want to give ourselves a chance to birth something new. And I think I said this in the beginning. We want to give ourselves a chance to birth something new in our life. This requires our feminine energy, which has been coming online for quite some time now. So embody that. It requires the feminine love and nurturing to grow anything. Embody that. And I'm going to read to you, before I sign off here, the inside degrees for this new moon. 1 degree of Capricorn. Interesting sounds coming from my house today. Okay. Capricorn, 1 degree. A canopy bed with curtains. Standing on the inside of life, protected and guarded, guided and led. That's another thing I forgot to mention. Remember, we are guided, we are led, we are protected. It's the outside world that tells us that we need them for protection. Now, know yourself, know your energy. Standing on the inside of life, protected and guarded, guided and led, held fast, kept so far back inside that what does express itself is purely a ceremonial display, a formal declaration. The observer or witness, empowered to prevail, to see, able to see, to realize and comprehend the mysteries. Clairvoyance, keenly sensing and viewing meaning and value, purpose and spiritual backbone. Like that one, spiritual backbone. So very strongly and steadily directed from within that there is no outer, there is no thing to do. Instead, you center yourself and align with who you truly are and stalwartly remain in the place of authority and power and inward truth as your statement and the only thing that you know. Know yourself. Know thyself. This is what we've been going through for the past 3 years. Deeply, deeply knowing ourselves. So, I'm sorry for the intensity of this message. New Moon in Capricorn is pretty intense. It is all about us really embodying our truth, being able to see the truth from the matrix through a lot of trickery, fuckery. It's not even the mystery, the mystical that the universe brings in. This is intended mind tricks. Don't fall for them. Know yourself. And no, we don't have to go into another war. We don't have to go into another nuclear disaster. We can change. We must come together though. We must know ourselves and we must reunite with our brothers and sisters here on this planet to create and birth a new world with the feminine energy, nurturing and loving through that growth. This is the message that I have today. So I hope that you are all well, and I hate to give this one through right before Christmas holiday season. However, I feel like you guys know, I'm not playing in the commercialism matrix Christmas world. I'm in the spirit of great change, great evolution, and knowing, yes, we have a lot of support, a lot of love on our side. We have to recognize that and be aware of that and really come together. When the shit goes down, we're gonna be ready. And I'll be here every step of the way to guide as best as I can as well. So much love to all of you. Thank you. Bye.